This is the Iowa Weather Report for Friday, May 15th, 2015. And now our first look at the 0Z GFS model run at 1 p.m. this afternoon. A big trough over the west produced quite a bit of precipitation out across the western part of the country, especially in California, with some snow out in the Sierras as well. That's going to be lifting out into the Plain States later today and through the weekend. It's going to bring several rounds of showers and thunderstorms, maybe some scattered activity today in our southern and western counties, but the best chances will be afternoon and into the evening and even the overnight for the rest of the state. Highs today will be mainly in the 70s with some sunshine early on, but Saturday there may be some sunshine around, but it'll be in between some rounds of showers and thunderstorms, mainly in the early and mid-morning and then again in the afternoon. Western and central Iowa, some of the storms could be severe. We could also see some severe weather Sunday in our eastern counties as the low begins to lift out. I see quite a bit of precipitation north and west of the low across North Dakota and up into central Canada. We'll have to watch that. A little bit of precipitation moving away here onto Monday. Could see a few clouds lingering here on Monday that could lower the temperatures down. We should see 60s across the state, but any cloudiness that lingers around could keep the temperatures in northern counties in the upper 50s here on Monday. Tuesday looks to be bright and sunny, but it's still going to be somewhat cool, highs in the 60s, which is below average for this time of the year. But you can see another system is gathering strength across the Intermountain West again, and that's going to be pushing in as we move into the midweek here on Wednesday. Looks to be that the chances are going to be a little less, not terrible, maybe about a 30% crack. Best chances will be across Missouri down into Oklahoma and North Texas, where they could see some possible active weather and a little bit heavier precipitation there. You can see as we move into Thursday, it looks to be that the precipitation will be off to our south. Otherwise, it looks to be somewhat clearing out, still relatively in the 60s to near 70 at that point. Then as we go to next Friday, you can see big trough, what some would call the polar vortex across eastern Canada, but the ridge is building up over eastern or western Canada into the eastern part of Alaska. That's going to dive a lot of cooler air down across the Great Lakes into the north and east. We'll be kind of on the fringe of that, but some precipitation lining up across the Gulf Coast and up into the Rockies and western Canada, possibly another system that we'll have to watch. Speaking of another system, you can see here as we move into the extended period on the 26th of May, you can see a trough axis across the east. That trough's still there. Bit of a ridge trying to flatten out across central Canada. And that's going to slowly warm temperatures up. It's still going to be quite chilly in the Great Lakes and New England. There could be a system coming in with maybe a scattered shower or storm at that point. We'll have to wait and see about that in future runs. The end of the forecast on the 30th, pretty much a zonal westerly flow across the northern tier of the country, although a ridge is trying to set up again over British Columbia, Alberta, up into the Yukon and northeastern Alaska again. Another disturbance is going to be coming through that could produce a shower or storm, but this is still very well far out there. And possible tropical entity off the east coast, but again, this is still about 2 weeks out, and it could be gone on the very next run. Speaking of gone, satellite image from last evening, the last system, yesterday's system that brought us some precipitation across the state is now gone off to the east. You can see a little swirl across the Great Lakes. But the next storm is this big batch of cloudiness to the west, and that's going to be coming in for today and into the weekend. The watch warning map from last evening, a couple frost and freeze advisories across New England, fog advisory in western Iowa, some flash flooding across the Big Bend area of Texas, and some winter weather issues across the Colorado Rockies and the Sierras of California. QPF chart, precipitation over the next 5 days. This goes through, I believe, Tuesday evening at 7 o'clock, showing precipitation amounts a little bit lower now, maybe about a half to 1 inch. We think it might be a bit higher in areas that get multiple thunderstorms.